Okay. 9:24. I need a motion to come back from executive session.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Villarreal, a second by Mr. Perez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Items number 9. Discussion and possible action on approval of variance request from stage 3 of the drought contingency plan.
I so move that we direct the general manager to approve those variances that provide the proper documentation. And if any of those variance requests don't have documentation, to afford them the opportunity for them to have some sort of supporting documentation, and then him approve it.
Okay. So I have a second by Mr. Perez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 19. Item number 19, a discussion and possible action on approval of change order number 6 with More Will with the Nat Bank Palmview Yard Line Project.
So move.
Okay, so I have a motion by Ms. Perez.
Second, discussion.
Do we have any discussions or any questions in regards to
I
this?
had a question on that line. How many meters are they that were taken out of the, how many connections, I'm sorry?
If I remember correctly, when we bid out the
275.
project, eran like 1,854, and then at the end of it, yeah, with all the as-bills counted up, I think we're at 1,577.
Okay, so it's 200 and some meters?
275.
275?
275.
Okay, the cost of that meter, it was what, 16 for connection, $1,600?
So, do you guys have change order number 6 in front of you guys?
Mhm.
Number 6?
Yes, if you guys go to the third page, we have there what we deducted for change order number 5 and change order number 6.
How much was the deduction?
So, for,
What I'm trying to get at, I'm sorry is the cost is gonna be due to Doom right now, and what was the original cost?
so, the reason that we're doing the deduction is because those services are not going to be
Right,
installed.
how much was that?
So in total, we had a deduction, I think change order 5 and 6 in total was a, so after deducing all the change orders 1 through 6, we have a net change of 54,000 in increase on the contract price.
So that means 200 and some connections were
Removed from the scope.
It
but we
was
do
only
have-
$56,000?
Those $54,000 are a total of all the change orders that have happened throughout the project. So one of the change orders that they submitted that was approved was that big increase in unit price for the different materials that was ordered over the course of the project. So I guess that's why there was a large increase on the contract price. But then after change order number 5, we had a decrease in a large amount as well.
Yeah, I was actually trying to figure out how much would it cost to do them right now. Would be about $600,000, that same connections? No?
It would be more expensive than what it was on this contract, definitely.
Primarily because
Primarily
of the cost
because
of
it was
materials.
yes, because it was bid out back in 2020, back when materials were a little more stable, and then over the past 2 years, everything kind of shot up. So the cost to install a service connection nowadays compared to what it was in 2020 is
What was the estimate per meter, per connection? For the sewer connection, do you have that? When over
yes.
the 2020?
yes. Well, we bid it out, and we had 3 different categories for a service connection, depending on the length.
The short or long, but what was an average, más o menos? Do you have that?
I would say an average was about 1,200, 1,300.
So that was 200 and some $1,000, to over $300,000.
Mhm.
Pero nomás lo están dando credit for 56,000. Ahorita. Right?
Well,
Okay,
right right now in terms of change orders 1 through 6, that's the net. For change orders 1 through 5, there was increases and decreases. And then at the final reconciliation, change order number 6, it was just $229. So over the courses of all the change orders throughout the project. I'm sorry?
No, what I'm saying, you say it's only $229. So over the, change orders, so there was like they fluctuated to $206,000 more or less, $206,000.
No, sir. So change order number 6 was a bunch of reconciliations for things that got installed and what we had on our original bid tab. So our original bid tab was an assumption of how many connections was going to be short, medium, and longs. So since there was a large removal of the scope of work that was done due to that G1 service area that was not complete, a large portion of the contract got removed. But there was a lot of installations that were assumed to be short that ended up being a medium or a long. And so after those deductions, for example, we deducted 63 shorts, but then we added 49 mediums.
Yeah.
And so
So
forth and so
after
forth.
they
So
reconcile-
If that was not the case, for example, everything would have been connected, we would have been short on those
Right.
connections somewhere else.
We would have had to pay
Pay
because of the change orders.
because of the change order.
Yeah, we would have been
Well-
We
under,
would have had to pay.
it was already confused, but with those 350,000 that the board approved on the cost of the pipe, then we would have to pay that out
Of our
350,000
Out of pocket.
if all the
Yeah.
connections were done.
Right.
So
Yeah, the cost is
we
gonna
would
be
have
the
come out,
cost.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
it's que you're getting all questions.
Yeah.
but
Right,
that's-
what-
To make it
correct
short,
me if
that's
I'm
what's
wrong,
happening.
but what I'm seeing, what this change order 6 represents is that on CO6, there were 63, on reconciliation, there were 63 fewer 4-inch PVC SDR 35s that were 0 to 150 linear feet long. And instead, there were additional 49 that fell into the 150 to 250, right? And then 9 that fell into the 250 or more.
That
And
is
this is
correct.
the reconciliation between the addition, but then there were 3 fewer of the 1-9 hauling costs.
Yes, sir.
And so the reconciliation is the more expensive because they're a longer lateral foot, but then the fewer number basically comes out to the 229 credit
That is
on
absolutely
the
correct. Yes, sir.
reconciliation.
We just wanna make sure that we add those numbers whenever we go out for bids again to, that's gonna be about $600,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And this is not including any of those, like, things that you had to do to move things around, like they call you,
No, ma'am.
No,
That
okay.
does not include this.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think there was a motion and a second.
Second.
You just had to have a vote.
So we already have a vote, okay.
All in favor?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel.
Okay. Item number 22. Discussion and possible action on election of board officers for AGUA Sud Board Directors, President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer.
Yes, Madam President, the district's bylaws state, although we will in the future probably recommend a few changes to help with the clarification of this, but the bylaws do state the election of officers for one-year terms. We are at a point for the election again of officers, and so if we, if the board wants to begin at President and Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer, or the reverse option. It's up to the board, but it would begin by a motion for nominating someone for a position. Everyone nominates, and then a vote on that nomination for the position, and then on to the next position, and the next position.
I nominate Ms. Ana Maria Perez for secretary. Board secretary.
Second?
I nominate Mr. Rick Perez as, Mr. Ricardo Perez as treasurer.
Second.
And then, okay, and then you can vote on all of these motions,
Okay.
either individually or, make all the nominations that you want, and then we can have, votes on these various nominations.
I nominate, Dr. Villarreal as, vice president.
And I nominate Ms. Maribel Diaz as president.
Second.
And I think we'd be looking for seconds on
Second.
both of those
Second.
nominations. Okay.
Second.
So, do we have, did I hear vice president?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. This will be the last meeting where I don't have a hearing aid, so my apologies.
Oh, you're good. We're loud. I think we're all loud.
Are there any other nominations?
Are there any?
Okay, then, do you want to start calling votes on the nominations? I think we have a nomination for treasurer.
Yeah, so let's start with what we started with,
Okay,
Ms. Ana Maria
nomination for
Perez as
secretary.
secretary.
Can you say all in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then all opposed?
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
All right, congratulations.
Congratulations, Ms. Secretary.
Thank you.
For Mr. Perez, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. You are still the treasurer.
For Dr. Villarreal, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
You better not.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Madam
you.
President.
I say it myself.
Good. Vice President, sorry, yes, go ahead. Yes,
All in favor for me, myself, and I as board president.
Aye.
Maribel Diaz.
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
all right,
Thank you.
go ahead.
Okay. Item number 23. Discussion and possible action on approval of resolutions to update authorized representatives and signers to the AGUA site various financial and escrow accounts.
Did you mention Lone Star as well?
Yes.
Included in the packet are two resolutions. One resolution is for Logic and the other resolution is for Computer Share, which used to be Wells Fargo. The Logic resolution is calling out for authorized representatives. It's an investment pool similar to what we have with Techstar. Recommendation would be to name myself and Mr. Salinas as the authorized representatives of the district, how we have Techstar. And for the Computer Share, this is for two escrow accounts which are held by the Texas Water Development Board. Recommendation for this would be to mirror what we have with Lone Star, which are the board officers and the general manager as authorized signers of the district. And then also due to the change in officers in the addition of Ms. Bettis, to update also the authorized signers with Lone Star to remove Mr. Ochoa and to include Ms. Bettis. We don't have a resolution for that here, but could we add that after the fact? Or, Jerry?
Yeah, so
Yes, we
basically,
can.
Can we add it after the fact, the
Yes.
resolution, because we don't have it as part of
yeah,
it?
I mean, the board has elected their officers, and really what this item is, we need a standing, each financial institution, these other various institutions where we need the authorized signatures and representatives. It's to reflect changes on the makeup of the board. So, with your approval, with the board's approval on this, then, we'll submit those resolutions.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And item number 27, discussion and possible action regarding the items, okay, no,
There's no-
right?
no.
So I need an adjournment at 9:39. I need a motion and to adjourn.
So I shall
So
move.
move.
So it's Dr. Villarreal and a second by Ms. Ana Maria Perez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.